Welcome, one and all, to Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 487. I am your friendly neighborhood Oxhorn here, as always, with suspenders set to maximum stun. Got a great show for you today. We're going to be playing some more Wolfenstein: The New Order. Is that what it's called? That is what it's called. We're on episode 5 of that particular broadcast. We've been playing through The New Order and having a great time. We already finished Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, which came later, but it was a prequel. So we did that first because it was the prequel. We're moving on to The New Order now. I think, we're like probably about halfway through it. And we're making great progress. And then after that, I don't know, but we're having a great time. Lots of people in the chat. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for your patience today. I know that today was a live stream day, but I had an appointment to take care of this tooth. And it's almost done. I have one more appointment to finish off this tooth. And then I'll be good to go. And I won't have to do any more appointments for some time. So in 2 weeks, I'm going to have another Thursday off where I'm not doing anything. I mean, I will be doing something. I'll be getting this tooth fixed, but I won't be able to do any live streams, but that's not for a couple of weeks. Yeah, so I've been working all day on a new lore video, and this is a monster. It's an absolute monster. This video is going to be over an hour and 20 minutes long. Not a live stream. This is a lore video, and when I publish it tomorrow, it's going to be over an hour and 20 minutes long. So I'm really grateful for my new schedule that I have for myself, where I publish a lore video, then do a live stream, then publish a lore video, because this is right. I mean, this is the perfect reason for having it, because now I can take extra time a second day to work on my lore video, which is another reason why after I came back from my appointment, I didn't do any live streaming. I was working on my my lore video. So tomorrow morning, brand new lore video, part 5 of the Order of Mysteries. This one on the Voice of Set and Sugar Grove. It's going to be exciting. I'm having a blast putting it together. Caleb Cat with a tip says football. Absolutely. All right, this is what we are smoking today. A La Aurora Ilion Corojo, my typical go-to smoke. Nothing fancy, nothing special, but it's a nice hand-rolled cigar. Can't go wrong with that. Now, of course, I didn't ask my dentist if I could smoke a cigar after having this tooth worked on, so this is risky. If the tooth falls out midstream, you'll know what happened. I mean, we'll just see what happens. It's a test. Rainer Murillo says, cheers. Also, Nazis kind of suck. My grandpa showed them what for. Also, nice hat, and love the Mistress of Mystery. I agree. Nazis do suck. I'm glad your grandpa showed them the what for. Liam McKinney says, how did you come with the name Oxhorn? So the name Oxhorn comes back from my old Dark Age of Camelot and World of Warcraft days. Let me answer Sean Wolf's question now. Sean says, Oxhorn haven't been... and it flew off the screen. That's what I was trying to... Sean says, I haven't been with you... live, but I am loving your Fallout 76 videos. Loving the game myself too. It gets a lot of hate for no reason. Well, there are plenty of legitimate criticisms about the game, and I don't want to pretend like that those don't exist. They do exist, but a lot of the outrage over Fallout 76 has gone beyond legitimate criticism and moved on into persecuting, for lack of a better word, people who enjoy the game because they enjoy it. And that's messed up. That's where I kind of draw the line. If you're going to come out of my live stream and you don't like the game, fine. You criticize the game, great. Start harassing people who are watching the stream because they like it? That's the issue. Anyway, to answer your question, I got the name Oxhorn back in my Dark Age of Camelot and World of Warcraft days. So when I was playing Dark Age of Camelot in the 90s, I chose Hibernia as my faction. For those who know the game, it wasn't my choice. My brother loved elves at the time, and I wanted to play with him, so we had to choose Hibernia. And so the best character in Hibernia, the best race was the Furbolg, and so I chose to be a Furbolg hero, and that particular character could transform into a giant stag. So I called him Staghorn. Then, when World of Warcraft came out in 2004, 2005, something like that, we all naturally did the transition from Dark Age of Camelot to World of Warcraft, and the closest thing to that in World of Warcraft was the Druid, who could transform into like a bear and a cat or something. And the closest thing to a Furbolg was a Tauren. So I chose a Tauren, who came from like an ox creature, and I named my character Oxhorn. Then when I started making my World of Warcraft movies, I naturally just used my online handle, so to speak. Caleb Cat again says football. This time with an emoji of a football. And then he says, don't beat me. I probably wouldn't beat you at football. If you're asking me not to beat you, like, physically, like, I'm not gonna do it. Cutter Webb says, reminds me of back in the army. I can't make it. I have an appointment, lol. But I did. I had an appointment at a dentist. This tooth is distinctly different from the last time you saw it. Just go back and review old footage. It's a different tooth. I had a legitimate appointment. Hey, Ox, 1 to 10. How's Fallout 76 to you? I love it. It's the same for me as it was at the beginning, about a 7. I'm having a really good time. The bugs are annoying. The bugs are really annoying, especially last stream when, man, it was just really annoying. But we survived them. Here's the thing about the bugs in the game. Recognize the bugs. Be annoyed by the bugs. Be frustrated by the bugs. But don't let the bugs spoil the story. And that's how I'm going into it. Because, yeah, I wish the bugs weren't there. But the story is still there. And it's still ready to be found and discovered. I mean, this is the coolest thing about Fallout 76. You realize that the story and all of the holotapes and notes, it's not in. All this has is bobbleheads and skill books. All this has is weapons and armor. It doesn't have the story. So we have a unique opportunity to discover this story for the first time. All the little side stories, all the little holotapes and notes that aren't really relevant to the main story, but tell their own side story in their own way, that hasn't been discovered yet. There's no wiki telling that story yet. So we have a brief moment after the game has launched to find those secrets and to tell those stories. And that's one of the coolest things about the game to me. Jay-Z says, hey Oxhorn, I love your vids. I'm loving Fallout 76, even though I'm perpetually over-encumbered. What do you think about all this bad press on 76 and a possibility of a lawsuit? Do you think Bethesda will survive? Yeah, they're totally going to survive. This is all way overblown. So the lawsuit is about the canvas bag. It has nothing to do with the game or the quality of the game or the release of the game or the marketing of the game. It has everything to do with the canvas bag that was advertised with the limited edition of Fallout 76. And if you recall, when I got my Power Armor edition of the game, I showed it off the helmet here on stream, and then I showed off the bag. And even at that time, I said the bag is really poor quality. And the problem, the big mistake, and I do think it was a mistake that Bethesda made, was to show a marketing image of a canvas bag that looked completely different than the bag that we actually got. The bag we got in the Power Armor Edition was made from plastic. The logo was already rubbing off on the bag that I got. It was really, really cheap. But the marketing image was of this beautiful cloth canvas bag, made from cotton or wool or some sort, like jute or something, like a heavy-duty bag. And, then they sent out the Power Armor Edition with the nylon bag and tried to call it a day. you can't do that. Anyone who's ever worked retail knows you can't do that. That's a bait and switch. It's a classic bait and switch. If all they had done was describe it as a canvas bag, even that, it's a little sleazy, but they could have gotten away with it because the nylon could be colloquially called canvas. But they didn't. They showed a picture of what it's supposed to look like. Doesn't look like what's in the picture. And that had to change. That's a big mistake. So that's why they're getting the lawsuit. I believe it's going to be a class action lawsuit. I don't know if it's been filed. I haven't really been keeping up on it, but I believe it's going to be a class action lawsuit, and it has been threatened. And it's kind of legitimate. Like, Bethesda really did advertise a completely different product than the one they delivered. And at the end of the day, when I discovered that my bag was really cheap, I mean, I bought it for the helmet. I mean, let's be honest, like the majority of us bought the Power Armor Edition for the really cool helmet, and they delivered on that. It was a really cool helmet. The bag was sort of incidental to me. But then again, we can't fall into the trap of assuming why people made the purchase. It could be that somebody bought the Power Armor Edition because really hoping the bag was a real high-quality bag, as it appeared to be in the picture, so that they could gift that to someone else or use it for school. Understandably, they would be really disappointed if they got the Power Armor Edition and it wasn't that. So we can't presume to predict the purchase decision everyone would make, and we don't want to diminish the anger that some people would have after feeling hoodwinked. So, yeah, it's kind of a legitimate problem, like a real legitimate problem. But it's not going to be the end of the company, and it really doesn't have any reflection. It doesn't reflect poorly on the quality of the game. Like, the game is kind of its own thing. It stands or falls on its own merits, not on the material that a canvas bag was made from in the Power Armor Edition of the game. So it's a separate issue, but it's a legitimate issue. It needs. I think Bethesda would be wise to address this differently. One of the ways they've chosen to address it is to offer 500 Atom to people who were affected, people who bought the Power Armor Edition and feel slighted. And, that's around $4 worth of digital currency. I don't really think that's enough. Like, I think the best response would be to offer a refund to those who want it. Now, people like me, I'm not going to get the refund because I bought it for the Power Armor, and I'm happy with the Power Armor, and I'm happy with the game. I'm enjoying the game. So an option to either get the Atom or get the refund or do nothing, I think would be good. But when you market a product with marketing images that don't reflect what you actually offer the customer, I mean, you kind of put your foot in it. You got to make amends, and offering a refund at this point to people who feel hoodwinked is really the only appropriate response. And I really hope they make that decision. I don't think the Atom that they're offering is good enough. And it's a shame. So, we'll see what happens. Wow, tons of comments while I was on that diatribe. Let me put my cigar down for a second and move my microphone and scoot on in so that I can answer some of these. Any chance on getting more L.A. Noire videos? Yeah, after I finish this current series on the Mistress of Mystery, I will get into L.A. Noire and Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4, back to kind of my usual scheduled program. That was from Wasteland West. $1 tip from Message Redacted. Thank you very much for the tip, even though it's redacted. Sean Wolf says, I get legit criticism of Fallout 76, but don't you think most people seem to be upset just because it's multiplayer? Not ignoring the bugs, but a lot of hate I see is because Bethesda is trying something new. Yeah, I mean, so there are two different things going on, in my opinion. So glad you guys are asking me about this topic on this program. There are two different things going on. First, there are the people who honestly and legitimately are uncomfortable with the idea of a multiplayer version of a franchise they've enjoyed as a single-player experience for almost 20 years. I kind of fell into that category. When I found out it was going to be a multiplayer, I was taken aback because I fell into that category. Now, I don't think everybody who feels that way is going to respond to it the same way I did. I kind of, got over that, and I'm still enjoying it, even though I'm choosing to play it as a solo experience. And other people, they just can't do the multiplayer, and that's totally fine. not every game is designed for every kind of person. And even this game is not designed by nature for all Fallout fans. And that's okay. You know, we don't have to like and play every game. So, I don't think it's that simple, Sean. I really don't think it's simple enough to say, well, people are just they're just upset because it's a multiplayer game and they're used to it being a single-player game. I think that's part of it. I think you've got some people who just don't like having their boat rocked and are really feeling out of water with this, and they're a little bit uncomfortable with something that's new, and they initially rebel to that and they protest that. There's that element, but you know, I think it's a little bit more complex than that, because there are a lot of legitimate issues with the game that people are really struggling with, and the way that it was marketed, I think, at the very beginning was a bit of an issue, because we didn't realize, aside from rumors, we didn't know that it was a multiplayer game until E3, and that was weeks after the big teasers and stuff that they were putting up on Twitch, right? So that left the entire Fallout community thinking that we were getting another Fallout game, naturally in the vein of the Fallout games we've gotten in the past, for weeks, right? For weeks we're sitting and thinking, what does this mean? Are we getting a new Fallout game? Is it Fallout 5? Is it a remastered version of Fallout 3? Those were all the rumors that were going on. Then we find out it's Fallout 76, but even when they name it and they tell us it's going to be in West Virginia, they don't tell us it's a multiplayer. So we're spending all this time thinking, hey, great new game, Fallout 76, West Virginia. Then at E3, it's multiplayer, right? So that kind of really important piece of news, they held on to that. And it wasn't released until, like, later, and we all sort of stewed on it. I think, in retrospect, that was a mistake. I mean, I don't think they did anything bad by doing that or unethical, but in terms of marketing your product effectively, I think, in retrospect, that was a poor choice. Instead, they should have come right out from the beginning, championing its multiplayer aspect. This isn't Fallout 5, they should have said at the beginning. This is Fallout 76 multiplayer, right? Then the die would have been cast from the very beginning. There wouldn't have been an opportunity for people to generate false expectations, or there still would have been a lot of criticism, and people have gone, well, wait a minute, it's a single player game, it's not supposed to be multiplayer, it's not a real Fallout. Yeah, sure, there would have been that entire crowd, fine, but I think fewer people would have had the rug pulled out from under their shoulders, And that, I think, has led to a lot of this initial backlash, and then the bugs on top of it have sort of caused it to avalanche down into this big cascade of negativity. And one thing I've learned about the gaming community, some aspects of the gaming community, is when an avalanche of cascading negativity begins to slide, boy, they hop on their snowboards and they take it all the way down to sea level. So, what can you do, right? If you're enjoying the game, all you can do is just keep playing the game. And that's what I'm doing. I'm enjoying the game. Despite the canvas bag, despite the bugs, I'm still enjoying the game. And so what do? You just play the game. Death Dragon says, have you considered Borderlands? It's really good. I hear that it is good. I think it may be the particular style of art doesn't really appeal to me. The sort of dark border, what is that called? Cell shaded? I don't know what it's called. It's interesting, but it's not really my thing, so I never really got into it. Davis White says, hey, Oxhorn, just curious, why do you sometimes play as females in your games? Love your videos and thanks. Just, diversity, trying something new. The reason I'm playing a male character in Fallout 76, for example, is because the last character I made was female, and I tend to alternate. I'll start as a male, then in the next game do a female, and then in the next game do a male, and just have some diversity. Fish says, Oxhorn, you're awesome. I relate to you with my beard, my flannel, and my scotch, and my love of Fallout. Thank you for what you do. Well, thank you, but I forgot my scotch today. I forgot to go back to the store. I've been out of scotch for a couple of weeks now, but I did find something alcoholic, and I put Coke in it. So it's rum and Coke. It's not scotch and smoke rings, but hey, it's rum and Coke and smoke rings. It's a little bit strong. Cutter Webb says, it feels like people are literally looking for stuff to diss Bethesda at this point. Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. Like I said, they're taking that surfboard all the way down to sea level, and they're just going to ride with it. That's how they get their kicks. Can't change people. Rainer Murillo says, also in Fallout 76, December 11th or 9th, you can look forward to respecing. So after level 50, you can choose to get a new perk or to move one of your special points to something else. Also, smoke ship. Yeah, I did a smoke ship last week. That was a lot of fun. My cigar is out of fire right now because I've been talking so much. Yeah, so if you read the patch notes or the promises, Bethesda came onto their forum and made some promises saying this is what's in the future. And as PC players, we're going to be getting some love. We're going to be getting ultra widescreen support. We're going to get a field of view slider, a number of other tweaks and changes, and we're going to be able to respec our characters. Every single time we level, we'll have a choice after level 50 of either choosing a new perk card or choosing the ability to reallocate one of our special points. That's a great way to go about it. It feels like you're still spending something. Like you're not getting a free respec, you're not being able to change your character at any moment. It still feels like you have to sacrifice something to change your character. Mistakes when you create your character, they then mean something. It means fewer perk cards later on. That Gamer says, hello, Ox. Do you use the unlimited weight limit glitch? It has helped me out, and I don't feel all that bad for using it. I wasn't aware there was an unlimited weight glitch. But even if I knew about it, I probably wouldn't want to do it. Just because, you know, in addition to kind of spoiling the game for me, I mean, the limitations of the game are part of the game. As frustrating and annoying as they are, it just wouldn't be the same without them. And so I'd rather embrace those frustrations and limitations than try to find a way to exploit them. Also, I'm making content for YouTube, and so I'm trying to provide my viewers with as much of a authentic experience as possible. Jay McKibe says, thank you for being the sole light and sanity for Fallout 76 as a YouTuber. You're the best. I'm really not alone. There are plenty of other YouTubers who they're having a great time playing Fallout 76, and they do their own live streams and make their own camps, and so I'm not the only one. There are a bunch of them, but I appreciate your thoughts. Master Hammer with a tip. Thank you, Master Hammer. I appreciate it. Jalman says, thank goodness for Jason Schreier. Master Hammer with another tip. Are you just... Thank you, Master Hammer. You're just raining the love. I appreciate it. Awesome. Glad you're here. Corey Wilson says, how do you feel about the cryolator in Fallout 76? Shouldn't it be in Fallout 4? Yeah, that's a problem. It alters our understanding of the lore of the cryolator from Fallout 4. Now, sure, there's a way that we could explain it. We could simply say, well, there was another place, maybe a military installation before the bombs dropped that was doing similar research and happened to produce a cryolator weapon that just looked a lot like the one that was produced by a very specific set of Vault-Tec scientists in a vault after the bombs dropped in Boston. There's always that possibility, but, you know, the kind of retcons I like are retcons that don't need assumptions for them to work, right? And those are fine. If you've got a retcon and it's simply a reinterpretation of something we already learned in the past, and you don't need it doesn't need assumption after assumption to be built up to build upon them in order to work, then you're fine. But if we have to assume X and then Y and then Z in order for retcon A to work, then it has a shaky foundation, right? So sure, we could always try and explain it, but we don't have any proof of that. There are no holotapes talking about that. We certainly didn't get that impression when we were exploring the vault in Fallout 4. It kind of makes it like it's a bit of an issue. The same is true with the mysterious serum, and I haven't seen this for myself, but I have been told by viewers that the mysterious serum makes an appearance in Fallout 76. That, if true, would be worse, in my opinion, than seeing the cryolator in Fallout 76. Because the mysterious serum, each vial of the mysterious serum has its own story. It's so rare. I mean, you could track it down to a DNA sample because it's literally made from human DNA. It's each vial of the mysterious serum. There's no way we would find that in West Virginia. And sure, you could come up with a story about some other serum, which might be mysterious, which was derived from someone else's bloodline. All right, but would it really be called the mysterious serum, the same serum we get from Lorenzo Cabot in Fallout 4? Or should it not have its own name to distinguish the two so that we don't meld the lore, which is what is happening? So, there are a few little things like that in Fallout 76 that just... Vellingham says, hello, Oxhorn. I missed your last live stream, and I'm so sorry. Here's a tip. Thank you, Vellingham. You don't have to apologize, but I appreciate the tip. Also, in Wolfenstein New Order, be sure to talk to everyone every now and again when returning to your base to maybe get a special scene or a small quest from them. Good idea. I'll have to bear that in mind. Thank you. Jill says, 1 Scorch Beast versus 10 Cazadors. Who wins? That's a tough one. I mean, Cazadors can kind of fly, but they mainly just hover and then float back down. They flutter. They don't really fly. Scorch Beasts can fly. Mark says, this is so I never see Ramen Nuka-Cola ever again, sir. Also love the streams and lore. Man, keep it up. Thank you. You're welcome, and thank you for the tip. Yeah, I'll get a new bottle of Scotch. I'll try to get it in time for next week's episode. Rainier says, hey, man, Oxhorn, it's payday for you. Also, there are rumors of new power armor. I haven't heard any rumors of new power armor, but of course there will be new power armor. Every DLC is going to have a new suit of power armor. It would be crazy to find, to purchase a new DLC for Fallout 76 and not get a new suit of power armor. So I have a feeling that the suits of power armor that are out there are just going to grow exponentially. Valdude says, did you get new stuff for your shelf? Looks like more stuff than usual. I did. I've got a new Fusion Flea. I've got the red one, so now I have the red and the blue one over there. I've got more chems. Let's see, right over there. Screen printed or 3D printed chems. There's another bottle of Nuka-Cola Quantum on my shelf. Yeah, there are a few. I'm slowly building up my little display there. And when it's done, I'll be sure to take the viewing several on a tour. Plarby says, the rum be the only thing we need, matey. Yar. Indeed. Although, I can't do a good pirate. EL says, love your vids and point of view on things. I bought 76 after watching you play it despite the bugs, and I'm really enjoying it, so thanks. But sorry, I have stopped watching your videos. Don't want any spoilers. I don't blame you. Hey. Cool thing about creating Fallout 76 videos now is that they're going to be online forever. I'm getting my foot in the door, staking claim, making content about something. Trust me, tomorrow's episode is going to be amazing. It's an hour and 20 minutes long. It's going to be long, but lots of great stuff. If you love old world secrets, this is the one for you. Paradox Content says, love your videos. Keep it up. Thumbs up. Thank you, Paradox. Okay, now I can relight my cigar. I've been waiting to get through all the super chats so I could relight my cigar. And it's been 30 minutes. Hamra Ragna says, hey Ox, glad I'm able to catch the stream. I'm watching your old Metro streams while I'm at work. Loving your reaction to the games. Keep up the awesome work, man. Thank you. Yeah, I loved Metro way more than I thought I would. I never played it when it came out. Everyone on my channel said, Oxhorn, if you love Fallout, you'll love Metro. And they were right. I mean, there's not a lot of looting in terms of scrap and all that, but besides that, it's a great little game. Judson says Bethesda now has 2 class action lawsuits. Oh, I didn't know that. Let's see. What's the second one about? These lawyers want to sue Bethesda over Fallout 76 refunds. Oh, okay. So one was about the bag and one was about refunds. And I think this is just a rumor. So, yeah, I mean, I never tried to return the game, so I don't know what happens if you try to return it. But I think the second lawsuit is about refunds, not getting the refund that you wanted. Okay, so Fallout 76... Wait, why is Fallout 76 under investigation? And why are the developers of Bethesda being targeted by a class action lawsuit? Okay. So the lawsuit hasn't been filed. The news is, I'm getting this skinny here. The news is that a law firm is investigating Bethesda related to refunds for Fallout 76 in an attempt to gain enough material to file a class action lawsuit. So it looks like it hasn't been filed yet. We'll see. I think I had somebody ask me about that on Twitter, and my response was, I mean, I think if people deserve a refund, they should get a refund. I don't know what the refund policy is like. I never tried to get a refund myself. So, I hope people get what they deserve. Ajax says, hey there, Ox. Love the lore videos. Keep up the fantastic work. Thank you very much, Ajax. Jay McIbe says, there's a collector's item of a fusion core that is a power bank for your phone that I found once. Heard of it? Was thinking of getting it. Yeah, it popped up on the Bethesda store for a while, but they sold out really quickly before I could get one. I might get another if they ever get more in stock. Vault Dude with a wonderful tip. Thank you, Vault Dude. Dude says, don't tell my wife I just gave my favorite YouTuber $100 for Christmas. She will absolutely kill me, but I couldn't forget about you and your family. Merry Christmas. That's very kind, but I don't want you to get in trouble. I mean, big financial decisions should be made between both members of the family unit. So, thank you very much, but maybe next time talk with your wife about it. Sit down and say, hey, I know this guy on the internet, and he does really good shows. We could give him $100 and see what she says. I'm sure she'd say fine. Roland Palachos says, hey, Oxhorn, just got my first bottle of Scotch. Well, how do you like it? Usually people who try Scotch for the first time, they don't really know how they feel about it. It kind of takes a while for Scotch to grow on them. Taz says, Ox, did you find the spin the bottle game on the roof? It's quite funny. Which roof? I haven't found that particular Easter egg. Steve Stalvey says, hey, Ox, can you remind me when you found the producer of your mini nuke? I've been wanting one as well. Etsy. Many of the 3D printed props I have are from Etsy or eBay. So just go there. There are lots of mini nukes for sale. Just compare them with pictures of items in game if you're wanting something canonically accurate, and you should be able to find what you need. Rose says, Oxhorn, can you play SCP Containment Breach? You would love the story. There are a lot of games that I should play, that I would love to play, but I'm really preoccupied with what I've got now. I wish I could clone myself so that I could produce content about multiple games at the same time. Wow, every question is about Fallout 76. Sir Copper Bullet says, how do you feel about the saltiness going on about Fallout 76? As I said earlier on the program, I think there's plenty of legitimate criticism that shouldn't be dismissed, because that would be disrespectful to the people who are genuinely producing thoughtful criticisms. And I think that there's a lot of unthoughtful criticism that is just bile. It's just a river of toxicity. And, you know, you can't change people. You can't do anything about it, so why fret about it, right? It's one of those things where if I was the kind of person who chose to enjoy something because other people liked it, or chose to dislike something because other people disliked it, then I might be affected, right? Because so many people are being very vocal about their dislike of Fallout 76. But I'm not the kind of person. I wanted to really play the game a lot before I decided whether or not I liked it. And after playing the entire beta, I sat down and asked myself one question, and that was, did I have fun? And the answer was yes. And so I'm playing the game because it's fun. Keel says, I'm really enjoying Fallout 76 despite the bugs. Anyway, here's a dad joke for you. Why did the cookie cry? Because his father was away for so long. That's a good one. I like it. Bridget says, how do you think the Scorched got to be Scorched? They're different from ghouls, yeah? Sometimes it sounds like they're talking. Keep being rad. Well, Bridget, we have that answered for us in the primary plot in the game. And I'll tell you, because I don't think it's not that big of a spoiler. We learn it pretty early in the game. At least it's alluded to by the responders very early in the game. And then it's confirmed by the Brotherhood of Steel plotline. So if you don't want a spoiler, plug your ears. But the reason Scorched exists is because of the Scorched beasts. The Scorched beasts produce a scourge. It's like a breath or a vomit that creatures absorb. So we not only find humans scorched, but we can find Mirelurk scorched and Mothman scorched. There are a number of creatures in the world that can become scorched. So the Scorched are not ghouls at all. They retain more of their higher functioning faculties. And we find recordings of people, human people, being turned into Scorched. And there's sort of a communal, almost telekinesis between the members of the Scorched. They kind of move in unison. They work with each other. It's almost like the Scorched Beast or a Scorched Beast Queen is commanding them in battle. When a Scorched Beast flies in and attacks, Scorched will spawn around you and also attack, right? So it's just the biological specifics of it I haven't discovered yet, but from everything I've gathered so far, Scorched Beasts are responsible for the Scorched due to some sort of chemical or toxin that they release onto the land. We'll learn more as we continue to explore. Rainier, with a quote from one of my live streams earlier this week, says, "Greetings, C42. Male identified scanning. Scanning. Still scanning. This line is for new citizenships only. Thank you. Have a nice day." Yes, we did enjoy the DMV in Fallout 76. Bello Lestrange says, wow, I missed the start, but here I am. Hi, everyone. Hi there, Bello. Good to have you on the program. Sup, kids? It says, hey, Ox, love your vids. Quick question. Where did you get the new Vegas sign? It looks amazing. I get this question almost every week. That is a prop that was sent to vendors during the marketing of Fallout 76. So Best Buy, GameStop, I don't know which particular vendors were sent that, but it was supposed to be a prop within the store. And I believe it was also sent to journalists as well. just as a way to market the game. But that means that it was never released publicly. Like, you could never purchase it. It was never commercialized. So only a few were made. I managed to find that on eBay, paid through the nose for it, but a former Bethesda employee had saved one, and she put it up for sale, and I got it. Judson Wadkins says Obsidian's new RPG sci-fi is going to reveal at Game Awards. It's going to be better than Fallout 76. You can predict the future? Is that it? Well, I hope it's better than Fallout 76. I hope, you know, every game does very well. Obsidian could really use a hit, you know. One of the reasons they had to sell to Microsoft, which is why they are now a Microsoft-owned company, is because, you know, some of their more recent games were moderately successful commercially. Like Wasteland 2, I believe, which came out a few years ago. I've been meaning to play it, but, you know, it was moderately successful. But now they have the capital from Microsoft to make a whole bunch of stuff. My only worry about that is, I mean, Microsoft is vested in Xbox, right? So if they bought Obsidian, they now own Obsidian. What's to stop them from saying, hey, make this an Xbox exclusive? I mean, I hate to, like, rain on anyone's parade, but, I mean, if you're really excited about the Microsoft acquisition of Obsidian, cool. I mean, I'm glad they're still making games, but I'm a PC gamer. I don't do consoles. Just because it's awkward for me. It's hard. Like, I learned that at Greenbrier. So I really hope that if Obsidian comes out with new games, it's going to be multi-platform. Welcome, new member Ajax. Good to have you on the program. Bridget says, that's so cool. Thanks, Oxhorn. You're welcome. Some of your names just crack me up. Stan says loss of revenue would not let them do it. The stockholders would. Crap. Are there still stockholders? I don't really know how the acquisition went, but if Microsoft bought them, they no longer have stockholders, right? I'm not sure. Prime Objective says, do you have advice for people who want to start a YouTube channel themselves? I do, and I'll give you that advice in a minute. Judson says, don't forget Fallout New Vegas. This game in particular, or this game is partner Take-Two before Microsoft buys them out. I guess I don't understand your comment because Fallout New Vegas is out and has been out for almost 10 years. They partnered with Bethesda. Well, they were a contractor. They were hired to produce the game under Bethesda's... Well, I mean, Bethesda produced it, but they made it. But this new relationship with Microsoft is more than that. I mean, they're not just a partner. I mean, they're calling it a partner, but this is an acquisition. Obsidian is owned now by Microsoft. That's, you know, I mean, you say you're a partner all you want, then... Oh, by the way, we want the game on the Xbox only, partner. it's like, what do? They're paying the bills. So, anyway, now, I forgot. What was that question? Yeah, for starting new YouTube channels. Well, I get this question a lot, and I can only describe how I started mine. So when I did my Fallout content, When I started doing my Fallout content, so as many of you know, I used to do World of Warcraft content a long time ago. But now that I've done, when I started doing my Fallout content, I just started creating a video every single day. And I told myself I was going to do a new video every day. And I didn't start out doing lore. I started out doing settlements, settlement builds, and I talked about mods and things like that. Evodio Tovar says, "Hey Ox, just came back from Norway. Looking forward to bringing you on recent content, or binging on your recent content." Well, thanks, Evodio. Glad you're here. I hope you had a great trip from Norway. I've got a lot of content for you to binge on. Then when I moved to lore, I wanted to get in depth. I wanted more detail in my videos, and it was harder for me to do the one video a day thing, so I kind of moved away from that, even though now I'm still doing 6 videos a week. But some of them are live streams. Rusky says Microsoft is pretty good about putting exclusives on the PC. You just have to buy it through the Microsoft Store. Is that true? Okay, well then I have hope. Xbox is Microsoft, aka PC Ox. Yeah, I know, but like if I bought a gaming company and I was making my gaming money off of hardware, I would want to use that gaming company to better sell my hardware. And then if I have that gaming company make software or games for other types of hardware that I'm not making money on, like PCs, why? Like, why would I do that? If instead I have the option to make it an Xbox exclusive so that I can, encourage more people to buy my hardware, which they might not need because their PC is better, then that would be the better financial choice, right? Almost everyone already has a copy of Windows. You're not going to buy a gaming company so more people will buy Windows for the PC they built using hardware from Intel and Samsung and Nvidia, right? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see exactly what ends up happening. Anyway, back to answer your question, it's consistency. Consistently creating content on your channel that your particular audience is interested in is how you grow the channel. If you take too much of a break, or if you kind of lose your wind, the wind gets out of your sails and you don't have the energy for your channel anymore, then your channel will sort of plateau and your viewership will eventually dwindle. So the only way to avoid that is to treat it like a job. This has to be your 9 to 5. If you don't treat it like a job, then you're just not gonna make the content you need to get through it. Think of it like this: you've got an opportunity to have the job of your dreams, which is to play games for a living and to comment on them and to retell stories and that sort of thing. Sure, there are times when you're just really frustrated and you're tired and you want to go to bed and you want to hug the kids or read a book or whatever, and yeah, you're going to get those moments, but what's the alternative? The alternative is going back to the corporate world where you're no longer your own boss and your fate can be decided by some stranger at any time for any reason. And so you just treat this like your job and you go to work every day. This office is my office. I work every day in this office. That, I think, is the best way to find success. Tara says, Oxhorn, how was your day? My day was great. I've been working on a new lore video all day, and I'm telling the story of Sugar Grove tomorrow. I'm really excited to tell that story. Silestria Eversong says, Ox, could you give my best friend's GoFundMe a shout out? She's about to lose her home. Trying to help her the best I can. Can't send the link via Super Chat. I can't promote a GoFundMe's that I'm unfamiliar with. Like, I'm sure you're telling the truth, but I can't. The problem with GoFundMe's is, from everything that I've read and news reports that I've seen, most of them are completely and perfectly legitimate, but every now and then you're going to get someone who's just exploiting friends and family back home at Facebook just to... And I don't think you're doing that, of course, but I can't, promote those kind of links in my chat, as I'm sure you can understand. Rainer Murillo says, ever been attacked by a T-posing scorched beast? It's terrifying and hilarious. Also, are your suspenders and hat legendaries? They are, and no, I haven't. So I'm looking forward to seeing that particular glitch. David with a tip. Thank you very much, David. Judson says Obsidian partner Take-Two. Make the sci-fi RPG game before Microsoft buy them out. It's going to be their last all-platform game. Oh, are you saying they're currently working on a sci-fi RPG game that they will be making all-platform, that they were working on before the Microsoft acquisition, and it's their last all-platform game? If so, that makes much more sense. Ajax says, hey, got any recommendations for just starting Fallout 76? Example, EXP grinding, places to focus on. Yeah, my recommendation would be don't grind. If you grind, you're not going to have any fun. My recommendation would be start with the quest and follow the quest. The primary quest is going to take you to some of the major points of interest. It's going to take you to the locations where you can start almost all of the side quests. You're going to level up incredibly fast. I'll talk about this more on Saturday when I do my next live stream. But I had to log on a few times yesterday and today to shoot extra footage for my lore video, and I leveled up twice. I wasn't even trying to level up. I had to go back to Riverside Manor to shoot more footage, and then back to Sugar Grove to shoot more footage. And just in the course of capturing that footage, I leveled up twice. And now I'm level 53 now, or 54 or something like that. So leveling is not hard. Don't grind. You're going to drive yourself crazy if you just do the same thing over and over again. You don't have to in this game. My next recommendation would be you're going to have to retrain yourself how to play Fallout. Because if you loot absolutely everything, you're going to be very disappointed very quickly. So learn what you need for your character as soon as you can, so you can make the best use of your scavenging earlier on, so that you don't fill up your trunk with too much junk that you don't really need. And then my third piece of advice would be scrap every weapon you find. Because even if you're not going to use it now, you might change your mind later. And if you scrap a weapon, you learn a mod. The only way to learn mods is by scrapping weapons or by finding blueprints and plans out in the world. So, for example, when I switched from the short double-barrel shotgun to the combat shotgun, I stopped collecting all of my double-barrel shotguns and started collecting every single combat shotgun I could find, even though I had one, so I could scrap it and learn new mods that I could then use to craft onto my existing combat shotgun. Meki says, what chair do you have? Just curious. I don't know what it's called. I had it made. I contacted some furniture makers, and they made this chair for me. Jason says, Ox, how much is the lore in Fallout 76 pissing you off? I saw you freak out about the golden grasshopper, and that's a small thing. I tend to be more upset over the small things. I don't see a problem with the Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 76. And I expounded on the reasons why in one of my later live streams. I think it was day 14. It's perfectly plausible for them to be there. It's perfectly plausible for the Enclave to be there. In fact, the Enclave in particular, it would be more unlikely if they weren't there. The things that bother me are the things that just can't be. And they're so easy. The things that really bother me are they're just senseless. Like, a small amount of thought would have prevented that very glaring lore issue, like the mysterious serum thing, right? We don't need that chem in the game. We just don't. But they included it because it was in Fallout 4, and they figured, well, we'll just put it in the game. Now, I did freak out about the gilded grasshopper that we found inside the antique shop, but then I had a viewer tell me, and this makes perfect sense, that it's totally possible and plausible to find a gilded grasshopper replica in an antique shop. That viewer said that he had one himself. So it was then I'm like, oh, okay, it no longer bothered me because the plausible explanation made a lot of sense, right? And yeah, so I don't think there are a lot of big lore issues in the game, but there are a lot of little small ones. Corey says, have you been attacked by 25 ghouls in a blast zone before? Now that's scary. Level 39 versus 58. I thought I was dead. I haven't had that specific encounter, but if you've watched any of my live streams, you'll notice that every now and then I will get swarmed by enemies. Like, for example, we were in that one mine, and then every single mole miner that I had carefully killed for the past hour decided to respawn at once on top of me just after I hopped out of my power armor to swim. That was not fun. And it happened. And then when I went to Lexington, and every single super mutant in the entire town decided that they found me. Like, I don't know how. Like, I was fighting one, and then all the super mutants on the other side of town managed to find my way. Tara says super mutants are not understandable to me. They're perfectly plausible. I mean, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but the explanation for why they're in the world is at Huntersville and the nearby West Tech Research Facility. And it's just as plausible for them to be in West Virginia as, for example, them to be in Fallout 3. Remember, in Fallout 3, they're there because an experiment was going on at Vault 86. An FEV experiment, right? The Master didn't invent FEV. He stumbled into a vat of it. FEV is a pre-war virus that the American government and military was experimenting with at the Mariposa military base, but as we learned from Fallout 3, also at other locations. So it's honestly, where there was FEV, there will be super mutants. And for a place like West Virginia, which was chock full of military bases and secrets, of course there are going to be super mutants there. Obi says, when are you going to talk about Bethesda's fraudulent bait-and-switch nylon gate? Yeah, I talked about that earlier in the broadcast. Welcome to the show. Disturbed One says, why is Day 14 still broken? That's a YouTube issue. I'm sorry, not Lexington, Lewisburg. I get Lexington and Lewisburg confused. I know. It's just because they both start with L. I don't know why I have that problem, but that's my problem. Day 14 will probably be fixed tomorrow or the day after. I'm talking with YouTube about it, and they're just taking their good sweet time getting it done. Ajax says, another question I've been eager to ask is, are you thinking of doing a video on the Uncanny Cavern sometime soon? I think the story of the place is interesting. I've got gigs and gigs and gigs of footage left to go through for many stories in Fallout 76. I haven't done Uncanny Caverns yet, but I'll take a look at it. I'll eventually get through all of it, don't worry. Ash says, Ox, what did the medical protectron say to the dead super mutant? Your vital signs are troubling. Are you in need of medical assistance? That is probably what a protectron would say if you were to meet a super mutant. Okay. It's been an hour. It's now time for Wolfenstein. A meme says, hey, Ox, where did you get the 10mm pistol? Etsy, I believe. I've been collecting these props for a long time, and I don't recall exactly where I got them all, but I believe it was 3D printed on Etsy. Rainer says, join the Enclave. You get an orbital strike beacon, which is more powerful than a mini nuke. Okay, cool. Well, that's no longer a surprise. All right, moving on. Let's get Wolfenstein up and running. Okay, let me readjust my microphone here. Did you ever fix your TV, Oxhorn? I'm currently in the process of trying to get it fixed, which is why it's no longer in my office. Harper's Ferry is so realistic. I've been there so many times and it looks like the real place. Really? When I went through Harper's Ferry, it didn't look... I mean, it looked post-apocalyptic to me. Are you saying the modern Harper's Ferry looks post-apocalyptic?
William, I could use your help. Could you come over here for a second? I found some interesting leads. This parchment describes a way to create a type of super concrete.
This is what the Nazis have used to build all these concrete monstrosities around here.
Yes. Everything, even this place. This is the only concrete they used. This is how they created all those cities so quickly. Now that we know where it comes from, I need a sample of it for closer study. Can you look around here for a piece of exposed concrete that shows an outbreak of mold? It should be porous enough for you to cut me a sample.
Whatever you need.
Also, there was this encrypted list of Dat Yishud members in Poland during the war. I need to compare it with the official German state records on Jewish citizens in the years between 1939 and 1945. Can you see if those records are in the archives room?
I'll get right on that.
And there's one more thing. It's quite critical.
Uh-oh.
What?
Yeah.
That'll be all. We can go now.
Okay. Taking orders. Okay, search for moldy concrete. Now, when we read one of the notes that was posted on the wall, we learned that there was a mold, a fungi outbreak. Oh, this is new, though. Bobby's letter. Charlotte, do you remember the red cat, how it begged by our window, and how you fed it shrimps? Or the snail on the porch who fell down the table into your knee? Do you remember the sunny side of Primrose Hill? The broken glass of Clapham Pride and the nursery school? The one you said our politicians killed? Do you remember how your smile turned into tears? How you flew and flew into my arms and laughed and kissed music in my ears? Do you remember how your anger turned into fear? How you listened and listened to talks and talks, and how all the promises disappeared? Do you remember the red cat, how it craved and how it came back every day? I think it belonged to Miss Calloway, I'm not sure. But it would explain why it didn't. When she moved away, do you remember Moni's smile? How she laughed and laughed at this clownish snail? How she ran down the slopes of Primrose Hill, and her first taste of beer in her eyes when blood appears, or outside the playground, tears and hugs and all the hugs, and how she danced into the air, and how I love you, dear, how I love you, dear. Okay, this is a code. Clearly this is a code. But how do we... Cat, shrimps, knee, hill. School, killed, tears, arms. What is it? Every 3? Every 2? Is it an acrostic? Do, how, or do the... I don't know. Really weird, though. I read all of those. Let's go find some moldy concrete. Christopher Bennett says, I'm glad I didn't miss this one. Oh, good. Well, I'm hoping something cool is going to happen. Did you see that J for a minute there? There. At the top of the screen. What was that? Oh. Is that his name, Jay? Let's talk to him. Can't do it. Okay, so we're looking for some loose concrete that we can cut off. Oh, this is new. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, if we're going to find some loose concrete, we're going to find it here. Vault 101? Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, you're kidding me. Vault 101. That's so great. Love it. All right, what's this? Caution mold. Hey.
Caution mold. Helicopters must have blown the tarp free.
which means we've got a big pile of moldy concrete right here, right? Nope. Helicopters. There's the helicopters. Is this our moldy concrete? No. It's so weird. It's annoying because anything here could be our moldy concrete, but which piece of concrete did they want me to get? Oh, here we go. It's the one with visible spores. Okay.
There's a batch of mold. Need a circular saw to cut a sample. Gotta be some power tools nearby.
Let's talk to our friends. No. No.
Ich verstehe das nicht.
Oh, come on.
Are you okay down there?
Max Horst?
Quite a fall there, Mr. Big Cheese. You're in the sewer system now. You will find your way back here if you have a look around, yeah?
All right, Klaus. Get to work. This assessment is not going to perform itself.
Jammin says, I don't know if I would be able to survive Fallout 76. Lore inconsistencies induce such strong cognitive dissonance with me that I would be likely to quadruple my anxiety meds. Well, I certainly wouldn't much to get sick. But you know, I hear a lot about lore inconsistencies, but really the only thing people talk about is the Brotherhood of Steel. Like, I mean, I'd love to hear some other examples. We already covered why the Brotherhood of Steel are completely possible and the super mutants. So what exactly is the issue? How are we gonna get back there? We still gotta. Do I have my saw? No, I no longer have my saw. Oops. This whole idea of side quests at the base is really cool. Hello. House of the Rising Sun. There is a house in the woods. It's called the Rising Sun, and it's been of many poor boys. I'm not one. I wouldn't go to a place like that. Here we go. Laser craft work fully automatic. Yeah! Yeah! Now to find a mod that increases my ammo capacity. Ooh, it's a jerky one though. All right, where's that refueling station? Is there one over here? Oh, we've got another gun. Yes. Shotty. But I want to refuel my little laser weapon. Christopher says, "Hey, Ox, I got a question for you." Well, my friend, it's best to ask your questions because I don't always have the free time to look over it. But you know, ask away. Any more that I'm missing? No. Let's go down here. Nope. Back here. Up we go. Ooh, it's a bolt. Oh, look at the shotgun. It looks great. It's a bolt action shotgun? I need to refuel my laser thing. I love it. Okay, let's go get that health. Probably need it now. Actually, no, I don't. It's my armor. That's what I need. That'll just cause me to overcharge. Don't want to deal with that. Got bits and pieces down there. Yeah, Oxhorn, I see you did a Bioshock series. Ever consider playing through the second one? I have considered it, and it's something I would love to do. Rainer Marilla says old music is so much better than modern rap. I mean, yeah. But here's the thing about old music. We only remember the good ones. Back in the day, there was just as much bad music coming out. But the only ones we talk about and we continue to listen to. There you go. Are the ones that were, you know, top of the charts back in the day. So, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I'm not a big fan of modern music myself. There are some modern things that I enjoy. Well, I don't know which way to go, so let's go this way for now. Something down there. Shotgun shells, no. Charging dock. Opens from the other side. Okay, looks like this is where we're going. All this for a patch of moldy concrete. New objective. Cut a sample of the concrete. Oh. That's it, and I'm back. Okay, so that entire exercise was to get a shotgun?
Howdy, cowboy.
Okay, where's the saw? Oh no, where's my saw? Do I not have it, or is it hiding in my inventory somewhere? There we go.
What the damn hell are you doing? Science project.
Well, you're scaring Max.
Sorry, pal. Didn't know he'd flip out like that. That his son?
No. Well, kind of. I don't know.
So not his son.
Used to be Klaus had a son, born during the war. A miracle, he called it. They had tried for years to have a child, him and his wife.
Yeah, well, he'd make a pretty good father. For a Nazi.
The child was born with a club foot. Klaus knew, of course, what that meant. He begged the doctors not to report it to the authorities. Then secret police showed up to take the boy away.
Oh
Klaus and his wife tried to stop them. The wife died from a bullet to the head. The child, too. Klaus could not protect them.
So he blames himself.
I think so.
Oh my
And
gosh.
people never forgive the Nazis.
Got my block of
Check
gold.
on Max. See if he's okay.
I guess I'll do that first. 101. Okay, let's go find Max. See if the big lug is all right. I hate to think that I scared the guy. What's this? What?
Lost toy. Well, I found you.
Let's give the toy to Max, huh? Does that sound good?
Lost your toys, Max.
Oh, I see. Okay, I gotta find.
Amerikanische Trottel.
All right, I gotta find more toys. I should probably do that before I turn in the concrete block, right? So we need a box, a telephone on wheels, and then a toy truck. Hello? Oh, that's someone. Well, that warehouse is probably going to have some, but let's just do our due diligence and head up here and see if we can find any. Ah. I can't throw. Luke says, Ox, I just scrapped my vault suit on accident. Thanks for the videos on Fallout 76. I'm having a blast playing it. Keep up the great videos. Well, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Oh, should I do another? No, I did that last game. I'm gonna bore everybody. Can't get in there, I guess.
Soldier man. Keep the door to the archives, you know, like locked down. I think maybe Wyatt has a key.
Wyatt. Okay, so to get to the archives, I have to talk to Wyatt. So not a very action-packed session today. Lots of talking to people. I'll try the hangar one more time to see if I can find those toys. If not, then we'll just go on to Wyatt. Hey, there's one!
Neat toy. All I had was a pine cone and a box of matches.
Back in my day, we had pine cones and boxes of matches. There's his blocks.
You belong to Max. I'll get you home.
Now for the truck. What were they doing in her room, Caroline's room? Wolfenstein. Get some moldy concrete and some children's toys, and then go kill some Nazis. That sounds good. Well, guess I'll go to Wyatt, because I'm not finding this. Okay, Wyatt. I recall he was upstairs. What's this door go to? No, it's locked. Did I check over here? Yeah, that's Caroline's room. No, whose room is this? Well, I'm not seeing the truck anyway.
Wyatt, I need the keys to the archives. You got them?
Yes, I think so. Perfect. Just gosh dang perfect.
What do you got there?
Dog tags. Wing Commander Fergus Reed of the Royal Air Force. Took those off of his dead body, wanted to return him to the RAF, but then there was no RAF.
Best damn pilot I ever saw and a hell of a soldier.
I'm not cut out for this, you know?
Cut out for what?
This. Everything. I was 18 years old, and suddenly the war was lost. Everything good in the world died. Somehow I was the one supposed to pick up the pieces and keep the resistance going, take on the whole gosh darn Nazi empire. You think I was ready for that kind of responsibility? My ignorance got so many good people killed. Remember Private Prendergast? You know, that guy, he could survive anything. So tough. Well, I got him killed, sent him out on a mission, and he never came back. I just didn't know any better. Wing Commander Fergus Reed. He would have known what to do. He could have saved so many.
I made the wrong choice.
You made a stupid choice!
Oh.
Yes, you did! You left a boy in charge of a man's work. I should have died on that day, Captain, on that slab, and Fergus Reed should have lived. I'm not a child anymore, Captain. I know when mistakes were made. There.
Yeah, but how was I supposed to know the world was gonna end?
Leave me alone now, you hear?
Poor damaged guy. Well, I guess I can't search his room for the car, but I can search the archives. Well, let's go see if this car is in the archives. Where was that? That's scratched out. I guess he's dead. That was scratched out. And a new nameplate. All right, well, let's go down to the archives. Well, hey there, little truck.
Another toy on the run.
What you doing, little fella? We'll go back to your buddy. Archives. Give Anya the state records. Okay, but first let me finish my quest and give the man-child his toys. Maybe he can sleep easier. As a way of saying sorry for making that loud noise. Truck, phone, robot, blocks. Aww. Poor old guy. Alright, down to the lady. I got what you need.
Thank you, William. Give me some time to analyze this. I think I'm onto something.
Find what you were looking for in the archives?
Yep. Got something.
Uber concrete. The essential building material of the Reich. It's based on a .E technology. It's almost perfect, but it's deteriorating through time, developing mold. Someone is tampering with the mix, someone who knows its secrets. I analyzed it and found a trace of this type of limestone that exists only in northern Croatia. Now, look at this. The name Set Roth. It appears 3 times in .e shoot documents. According to official records, he's been detained in 1941 in Łódź and sent off to a forced labor camp in Belice in northern Croatia. Now, this is where things get interesting. The labor camp excavates limestone from a quarry for manufacture of Biba concrete. I believe this is the place where we'll find Set Roth, a living member of .e shoot.
Problem is, there are so many unknowns. This is an old man. Chances are he's dead already. We can't assault a site of this magnitude and hope to locate him before the whole damn Nazi army arrives.
What is the plan?
Someone needs to go in there and find him. Go undercover.
Any volunteers?
You ready for this, Blaskovich?
So wait, they're sending the guy who can't speak
I was arrogant.
a spit of
No one
German?
is ever ready for something like this.
Bitte, gute Frau! Sie liegt im Sterben! Pfeife mich nicht an!
What? Forced labor camp annexed Croatia? This is how he's going to infiltrate?
Frau Engel, was mit dem hier?
Zu massiv. Der frisst uns die Haare vom Kopf.
Nee, der kommt mir irgendwie bekannt vor. Der sieht wie ein Schwerbeiter aus. Bitte, Frau Engel.
Oh, these are the guys I met on the plane or the train.
Wolfgang, der hier.
Jawohl, Lagerkommandant! Durch die Tür, Sausack!
Okay. Well, please. Oh yeah. Is he gonna give me like a Nazi tattoo?
Human beings. Like cattle in this place. Need to stay calm. Remember the mission. Find, Set, Roth. Count to 4. Inhale.
Yes, mein Führer. Oh, Nazis.
The first day is tough, my friend, clear to accept. It gets no easier than me. Now I can remember near how many weeks long, months maybe. Not many survive for long. I was fighting the Nazis in Africa. I held them back for a while. My luck, it was too strong. Now I just try to survive, day for day.
I'm looking for a man called Set Roth.
I have heard of him. Survived in here longer than any other. He's in Block 4. Jay want to go there? Jay need a rector uniform. Look for a prisoner over there, by your right, dressed in a Block 4 uniform. Say now, Miss Milo. I heard his wife is quartered in our block. Maybe that will convince him to trade uniforms, let yo. But they need to distract the guards first.
Thanks.
Okay, to operate cement. Distracting guards.
Think the way to distract the guards, they work. Make your machine, the guards were crazy, but good trick. The guards will go back.
All right, I'm getting. Hold on. No. Okay. Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Press left control to crouch down and pick up a metal plate. Oh. There we go. Right. Left. Ha!
Milo, I know where they keep your wife.
What? Who are you?
I'm in the same block as her.
You sure? She's not dead. Oh God, she lives.
If you're willing to swap uniforms, you can find out for yourself.
Okay. Hurry.
Na, wie sieht's aus? Können wir wieder anfahren? Die Lager sind geschmolzen. Brauchen wir unten ein paar Mechaniker. Die kommen erst morgen wieder. Ja, dann machen wir Schluss für heute, oder? Ja. Komm, gehen wir saufen. Warum denn nicht? Aufgemerkt, Gefangene! Die Fabrik ist heute geschlossen. Kehrt sofort in eure Quartiere zurück. Insassen von Block 4 durch das rote Tor. Insassen von Block 6 durch das blaue Tor.
I hope they find what they seek, my friend. My name is Bombate.
William J. Blaskowitz. Be safe out there.
Safe.
Hello.
Heard of places like this. Auschwitz, Buchenwald, from east to west.
No. I come from north. I used to call.
Oh, that is a different kind of cold. Comfort cold. Looking at you, I think this winter will be your last. If you're smart, you save up on fat.
What? How do you mean?
A sausage, huh? You know the black market?
No.
Oh, well, I have connections. It will cost you, though.
But
Man,
I have nothing.
even here.
There was money in my backpack, but it was taken. I don't know how to pay.
Well, you should think of something, huh? And if you find means of payment, I could have sausage for you by the end of the week.
Okay.
But save it. Don't eat it all at once. You understand? If it starts to rot, pinch away the black parts.
Ew.
Well, taste is sour, but who cares, no? Okay, that's enough talk.
Sie haben Glück, hier gelandet zu sein. Sie haben Glück, mir zu dienen. Ich bin hier, Gottes Diener.
Hi there. Gonna shoot me if I get too close? Probably. Where's the old timer?
Spot! You! Have you seen my daughter?
Set Roth.
Look at this Shimshin. So much muscle, a physique. What for combat?
You said Roth?
I'm not sure yet. What do you know of Set Roth?
If that you should. Source of the Nazi technology. I'm here to rescue you.
You're here to This is wonderful. He's here to rescue me. Who will rescue him? And then, get your weg, Shimshin. Don't waste your time. I swore an oath to never betray the secrets of Das Yichud.
Oh, fuck your oath. People are dying. The resistance calls on you.
So it's a transaction of sorts, right? My personal freedom for the secrets I swore to keep. Sacrifice my honor on the altar of righteousness? Well, permit me a moment to consider, Shimshin.
Ajax says, Alex, I'm head to sleep now. Wish I could stay longer, but I'm burnt out. See you on Saturday stream night.
This place down,
thanks for
and I will
watching.
seat you and your comrades at the table of true power. Deal? I've been working on a little project. That machine there, it moves because of stolen Darcy Hood technology. I know it very well. Now this... Don't look at this so bluntly. This I can seize control over that machine, level the gates of this place, free everyone. I only miss one more part. Name it. That's a power source. Now, that machine, well, its electrical systems are powered by a detonic battery. You can find the detonic battery at the service station at the command building. It's in a different block, Block 6. If you can disable the automatic security systems monitoring the exits, you'll be able to make it into Block 6. I believe that there, at the guards barracks, there's a control module. It controls the security systems. Find a way in. Locate the control module. Disable the systems. Come back to me.
Right. Guard barracks. Well, let's find a way in.
Citrin, you are a big man. I can see you still have some strength. I was a big guy like you. I would do something about the guard they call the Knife. He's inside the guard's barracks. Likes to drag prisoners in there. Tortures them. Seen the smoke rising from the chimneys afterwards. Not asking you to do anything, but the right thing.
Kill the Knife. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Oh God. Stench in here.
Weapon. Find a makeshift weapon. Do I have no weapons? I have no weapons. And I can't pick up a saw or a crowbar. Nice. Weapons all around me and I can't pick them up. Oh. Hello. An Enigma code in a prisoner of war slaughterhouse.
Dachtest wohl, du könntest dich in mein Haus schleichen, was? Solche Dreistigkeit habe ich von Ungeziefern wie dir noch nie gesehen. Unglaublich. Da denkt man, man wüsste, wie ein Insekt denkt. Und was von ihm zu erwarten ist. Doch weit gefehlt. Du erbärmliches Stück Scheiße. Ich werde jede einzelne Kakerlake zertreten.
Okay. How am I surviving? Is this part of his plan? I'm that resilient. Okay. Okay, at least I got some armor. And thankfully, everyone has their back. Help! Oh, man. These Nazis. They're just awful. It's almost like a just cartoon. They're so awful. I almost said awful. That's where I came. I need to find a way up there. There we go. But too late. Too late. Ooh, he's got a pistol. Oh, wait, no. Thought it did. He's got a baton. Why are they always staring at walls?
That's gotta be it. A control module with security systems. Security systems disabled. Need to find set.
And that's it?
You did the right thing, didn't you? Sometimes it's hard to know what is right. But what you did was a good thing. This I know.
Nonchalant, just got a stab wound in my gut, but I'm okay.
Verhalten Sie sich anständig. Dann werden Sie es in meinem Lager zu etwas bringen. Ansonsten spüren Sie meine Peitsche. An die Arbeit.
Please, please. She's got short hair. And a birthmark on her cheek. My husband. He has a terrible fever. If I take him to the infirmary, they will send him off with the next election. Everything can't work.
Find medicine? Where am I going to find medicine? Do I have to go back in to find medicine? I bet you I do. I should have talked to him before I went inside. Well, with the place clear, I can easily walk around. Let's go find medicine. Croatian luxury resort best in test. Zagreb, November 7th, 1960. Just dying to get away on a relaxing vacation? Then look no further than to Croatia's finest luxury resort, the Mediterranean Pearl. The resort was listed as the world's best vacation spot in the latest issue of the #1 travel magazine, Horizon. The Mediterranean Pearl lies in a beautiful city, the Rayback, by the clear blue Adriatic Sea, an arena famous for its white pebble beaches. Glad I came back. But now, gotta find medicine. Where would one find medicine in a place like this. In a place where they're not healing people. Medicine cabinet, but I can't open it. Here's the torture room. Another medicine cabinet. I think they said the medicine was in the guard barracks. I'll definitely take a look. Hello. Medicine. And I'm just rocking with the Enigma codes. All right, let's get this medicine back to the poor prisoner of war. The poor mistreated prisoner of war in a concentration camp.
Funny that you should my uncle.
It is too late. He's gone. My husband is gone.
Oh, come on, I was too late.
Leave me alone.
I'm 8 years old and I dance on the edge of the white chalk cliffs of Rügen. The sun is in my eyes, the salty wind in my curly blonde hair. I stop by the Whistler Creek and dingle my legs over the edge, and I watch the azure coastline of the Baltic Sea. It sparkles beneath the clear blue sky. 10 years later, I sit underneath a big oak tree at the Berlin University campus, surrounded by friends, and they're talking and laughing. I'm grown up now. The boys stare at my body, I can tell, but I'm looking at someone else. I sit in the back of a movie theater, my arms around the shoulders of a dark-haired girl. We kiss in the dark, and I put my hand... Okay, this is getting a bit, and I want her to be my girl. I want to walk her home. We're, okay, yeah, wrinkled sheets and sank writhing, my face flushed, eyes closed, okay, body trembling, pleasure, touching perfection. Oh my. Demonetization, YouTube, okay, continue. We share a cigarette afterwards, but window overlooking smoky-free coffee bench. You introduce, okay, nice. Outside, uniformed men ready their guns. I hear a door slammed open. I run through the Berlin night, blood and brain matter in my hair and my face. I climb up ladders, up the walls of this concrete hell. I'm the persecuted, the misfit, the unwanted blood of Germania. I stand in a church and the SS officer in front of me puts a ring on my finger. We've created a pact, he and I, a lavender marriage, to draw off the scent. My dark-haired lover, the bridesmaid, is smiling at me from the back, and I smile at her. I lie in a hospital bed and I scream as I push one last time. The baby slips out of my body, covered in blood and a waxy white substance. As they place him in my arms, the umbilical cord still connected to my womb feels warm. Oh my gosh. My words fail to describe how I feel. Yeah, okay. I run through the park with my 3-year-old son through a cloud of mist from the mermaid fountain, and I feel like I'm a child again. I almost forget the ache in my heart, the fear that I harbor of ill deeds to come and the dangling of, changing of times. I scream with despair, and my face is wet with tears, and my eyes are bright red. 2 police officers are holding my arms. My husband's eyes are downcast, surrendered, and his arms are cuffed behind his back. Paragraph 175, they say. In the corner stands my lover with her arms wrapped around our son. I try to forget the frightened look on their faces as I'm dragged out the door. I lie here in a bunk bed at Camp Belicha, and I'm coughing up blood. My hands are broken from the toil in the limestone quarry, and I've not eaten in days. Sometimes I meet new friends, but one after another they die. They die away, and I'm left alone again. The wind blows cold, freezing my bones. I close my eyes, imagine my son's soft hand slipping into mine, his warm body lying next to me, and we lie in the grass with the sun in our eyes and the wind in our hair on the white chalk cliffs of Rügen. Christian Mann, Camp Belicha, 1960. Light stuff. Okay. Is there a way to save the husband? Oh, well, this way we go.
Sometimes we have to find other ways of resistance than violence. The slightest adjustment of the chemicals destabilizes the mixture. Structural soundness erodes, mold develops. Security systems.
It's done.
Wow, Shimshin. What is your name, Igor?
Blazkowicz.
Blazkowicz, yes, Blazkowicz. So, now the security systems are disabled. You can go past this gate, back through the factory, out the blue gate, inside Block 6, where the command control building is located. Sneak inside, get the detonic battery. Please act urgently before anyone notices what you have done. Herzliche Engel.
What's that?
That's good luck.
Yo, listen up. Here's a story about a little guy who lived in a blue world. And all day and all night and everything he sees is blue. Like him, inside and outside. Blue, his house. And a blue little window with a blue Corvette. And everything he sees is blue. And himself. And everybody around, because he ain't got...
Here we are. Camp Command Building.
So listen. Anything over here? Hold on. Aha!
Battery has to be in here somewhere.
Okay. Where are we going? We still don't have to turn off the radios.
Smell her perfume.
Hey, what's up, buddy? What's that? Beer? Oh, that? Oh, that's cool. Hold on 1 minute. My son has woken up. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Welcome, new member, Sean. Thank you. Berlin, November 7th, 1960. Many of us thought that after almost half a year of inaction, the terrorist cells close to or in Berlin had finally been wiped out. But with the escape of a key resistance member, and a few weeks ago, recent disturbing events point to one or more cells having been reactivated. The headless body of one of General Strasse's top commanders was found on the bottom of a river close to Gdynia, Poland, just 2 days ago. Maybe the 6 months of peace were just the calm before the coming storm? All right. Looks like that's it for here. When will he turn around? He did. Would you like one too? Okay. Sorry, my daughter just came in. Be right back.
Was zum... Ich schlag dir das Maul ein! Was machst du hier drin?
Oh, come on. No. I should have paused it. I know, but I'm so used to... no. I was so used to Fallout 76. Okay. Doggone it. Alright, where were we? Up we go. Whoops. In my haste. Hello.
Battery has to be in here somewhere.
Yes, okay. Kill goon number 1. Goon number 2. The safe has already been opened, okay?
Frau Engel's room. Can smell her perfume.
My bad. Totally thought I could throw those. Apparently not. Where's your Pip-Boy light when you need one?
Ich schlag dich windelweich! Los, komm schon!
I always love that. Oh. Where are you? Berlin, November 7th, 1960. The crowds that gathered on the streets and squares of the city laughed and cheered when the degenerate serial killer duo were executed today on live TV. I feel so much safer now knowing those two animals are no longer around, said one of the onlookers. A friend of mine was killed by those bastards, shouted another man. If nothing else, this is a valuable lesson to other degenerates out there that justice will eventually find them all. That's me. I'm Mr. Justice. Here to kill degenerates. Water closet. Staircase down. Okay, before going there, let's see what's down this hallway. Okay, I missed something. I love how he just casually flips the knife. Guess they really must have been quiet. Okay, and it leads to the same spot. Hey, thanks for the tip. 3D prop works. Okay, I guess I chose wrong. Again. And that's still locked. So back the way we came. All right. No. Okay, I am on the wrong side. Ah. Got it.
Ein Saboteur! Hier, den erkenne ich von der Selektion wieder.
Nein. Noch davor, Bobby. Der Nachtzug.
Meine Güte, ja, du hast recht. Seinem Abzeichensurteil ist ein Amerikaner und ein Anarchist, hä?
Ein Amerikaner? Gut. Sofortige Liquidierung von ihm und allen Insassen von Block 4. Sollte eine eindrückliche Warnung sein für all die Schweine, die an einen Aufstand gedacht haben. Alarmiert sie an Faust.
Jawohl, Lagerkommandant. Dabei muss ich aber nicht dabei sein, oder? Der Gestank dieses Ortes. Nee.
Mach, was du willst. What were you thinking, you stupid idiot?
Weitermachen, Herr Faust!
Hey! Battery! You have it!
They didn't take the battery? Oh!
For your crime. You will die like vermin. I will hunt you down. To the end of the earth I will fight. Your skin charred. Your fats rendered.
Taking your good sweet time.
Exterminated. In the end I will feed your flesh to the furnace.
Woo.
Take a seat, big man.
Sounds good. In we go.
Now we're free, everyone. Understand? We return to the camp. Open the garage door, steal a vehicle, and crash through the gate. Let's go.
Press mouse 1 to fire rockets, toggle C to switch to chain gun.
Fuck the Nazis. Hey! I'm opening the gates, Mr. Blazkowicz! Protect them, Mr. Blazkowicz!
I'm ready.
Take that vehicle, but wait for us! We will lead the way!
That it? That's it. Woo. Alley-oop.
No one leaves my cat.
How the heck did she survive?
Hate to make compliments, but I might have underestimated the usefulness of your ape-like physique, Mr. Blazkowicz.
That you should. Tell me, what is it?
Das Yichud is an ancient, mystical society. For millennia, we have operated with utmost secrecy up until right now.
What do? Do you pray?
No, Mamale, we don't pray. We invent things, Mamale. The technology developed by Das Yichud is centuries ahead of anything you've ever seen or imagined, and highly dangerous in the wrong hands. And the Nazis found our safekeeping. They stole our secrets. They used them to win the war. Everything they have accomplished, everything was built upon our knowledge. But it wasn't our only safekeeper. We have hundreds of them hidden in the secret places of the world. Hundreds, some small and tentative like the ones the Nazis found. Others, great halls of knowledge stacked high, magnificent inventions, things that to you will seem like magic. Now, I can open for you the gates to such a place. Getting there will be a challenge.
What will it take?
Well, the safekeeper's hidden deep below the Atlantic Ocean. We will
Bioshock.
need a U-boat capable of great depths, that's all.
Get a U-boat?
We cannot just walk up and steal a gosh darn Nazi U-boat.
I know how to get a U-boat, but for my plan to work, I need this thing operational. Can you do it?
I'm a Das Yichud engineer. I can do this in my sleep.
Good. We would need some additional features on it, too. I will prepare a specification for you. Blazkowicz, help him out, sir, if you'd be so kind.
Oh. All right. And with that, I think we're going to bring this episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings to a close. We got pretty doggone far. Wolfenstein: The New Order is a blast. I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you guys are as well. Many thanks to everyone who came to the broadcast today, especially members and all of you new members. Thanks for coming, and everyone who tipped. Also, special shout out to all of the trolls. You made it this far, trolls. Didn't expect you to stick around for a stream you didn't like, but hey, pat yourselves on the back. You made it to the very end. Trolls, and specifically, be sure to tune in on Saturday morning. I've got a brand new broadcast for you all. You can talk all about how much you hate Fallout 76 and me to your heart's content. So I hope to see each and every one of you there. But more importantly, those of you who are subscribers and members, I'm so grateful that you're here. We're going to have this episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings up pretty doggone soon. By the end of the hour, I think it'll be processed because it's only a 2-hour broadcast. And the 14-hour broadcast should be fully processed in about a day or so. I don't know why it's taken YouTube so long. But tomorrow morning, new lore video, an hour and 20 minutes long. It's going to be great, all on Sugar Grove, where some of the darkest pre-war military secrets were kept. It's horrifying, but great. So be sure to tune in tomorrow morning for that episode. And until then, I'll see you all Saturday morning. Thanks for watching. See you soon.